Equestria, Project Horizon Speak. Written by Hartshine. Chapter 2, Unnoticed. Escalion, proceed.
Despite our differences, we're all in this together. No fact of kindness or compassion goes unnoticed. To change the world, to take compassionate action within your immediate sphere of influence. To change yourself, starting by being still and making time to listen. The heart of the head of the head of Heart Healer Hall, Winter Willow, Year 1 after the fall of Nightmare Moon to Princess Celestia.
If there was one thing that I was very good at in this goddess forgotten wasteland, it was being silent. Blackjack's kiss had thrown me for a bit of a loop. I don't really like being touched, so to have her suddenly press her whiskey-flavored lips against mine came as kind of a shock. Especially since it was pretty much the first time any pony had kissed me that wasn't my mother. I guess it wasn't any surprise to my fellow Heartminders that I sat in silence, simply trying to find my center as Sandalwood and Slade prepared dinner. One benefit of having all the resources of Elysium and the followers at our disposal meant that food was readily available. I watched Sandalwood as she prepared a simple meal out of roasted garlic-flavored instamash, while Slade stood beside her, slicing up fresh tomatoes that had been delivered from Elysium's gardens a few days prior to my arrival. I liked watching the pair cook. Sandalwood seemed to smile more than she had since I'd arrived as she idly chatted with Slade, and the Earth Pony Stallion always seemed to stand a little bit closer than what was normal for colleagues. I felt a small smile cross my muzzle as the realization dawned. The pair weren't lovers. Yet. However, both were clearly trying and failing to keep their affections for each other secret. My smile shifted into a knowing smirk as I watched Sandalwood's wavy tail lightly kink towards Slade's, and the stallion lightly shifted on his hooves, moving just an inch closer to the unicorn mare. But only an inch, never enough to touch. Heartminders were funny, I figured. We could feel things more strongly than other ponies. We could follow any pony to the deepest, darkest depths of their feelings. But we too had our own buried sentiments, which only made it the funnier when it was something like love, more so when it was so poorly hidden. Though I really hoped that when Sandalwood and Slade decided to consummate their love, that I would be working with Blackjack. I really didn't need to know just how much the two of them were enjoying themselves. Being a hardmender around ponies having sex was way more stimulation than I really preferred to have in my life. Being around two heartmenders, their mutual feelings unmasked and laying outward like balefire, I shuddered at the thought. I looked up to catch Slade giving me a look, his eyebrow cocked slightly in glee. Uh, it's nothing, Slade. Just getting a little bit more of this afternoon out of my system. I lied. He was clearly unconvinced, but to his credit, I didn't call me to it. Uh, so, is anyone want to take Slate? Or shall I? 3, 2, 1.
I'll take him.
Okay, go ahead.
It's nice to see a Pegasus again. We've got a regular gathering of elements here.
He said, setting the plate of sliced tomatoes down on the wooden table in front of me.
And we need would be the cinnamon twist, and we'd have every type of pony in the wasteland covered, right?
I must have made a face, or my emotional shields guarding my relative displeasure for the aforementioned bad pony were lowered, because Sandalwood chimed in. Sandalwood? Blackjack? Would you like to take her again, or... Blackjack?
Blackjack bleep.
No.
He says no. Okay.
Okay, so I guess
Now, Trinity, be nice.
She cheated softly, setting 3 plates down on the table. I smiled as I watched the soothing brown glow of her magic vanish from the plates. Her magic was brown. That's actually really cool.
I know Cinnamon is a little different, but she's got her heart in the right place.
She's social sandpaper, I deadpanned, causing Sandalwood to hide a smirk behind her hoof and Slade to start laughing brightly. The stallion clapped his hoofs together, snickering.
Oh, I like you. You say it like it is. Haven't had anything refreshing since '69.
Okay. He added with a chuckle. Sandalwood forced herself to take on a matronly expression.
Oh, sorry. There's no way you can talk about those ponies who may run Hardmenders one day, Trinity.
She cheated, dishing out Instamash.
I like to think that she does want good things to happen to our clients.
Sandalwood, are you my mother? I know this shit. I thought to myself, if Sandalwood was my mother, maybe I wouldn't be so plain. Slade coughed slightly, then stuck a spoonful of Instamash into his mouth. He said, chewing slowly.
Did you add more garlic?
He asked.
This tastes better than normal.
Sandalwood beamed as I tried her creation. Oh, it did have more garlic. That's really good. The strawberry roan unicorn started laughing as she watched me dip into my helping of instant mashed potatoes.
Yes, I added a little bit of garlic to it. And some sweet cream. The Brahmin were producing it more than even major charity could sell. So she gave me some of her under threat of death if I told any pony about her a little donation.
Well, that sounds like charity, all right. She said with a bright smile, taking a bite out of Slade's careful sliced tomatoes.
Delicious. Thank you, Slade.
A little part of me wanted to just scream at the two of them to fuck already. Goddesses, we're a happy little dysfunctional family. I cleared my plate quickly, snugged half a tomato slice, and darted to my room.
Are you sure you don't want more, Trinity?
Sandalwood called after me. No, thank you. I'm good, I yelled back before shutting my door. I wanted some time to myself. I needed to look over Cinnamon Twist's assessment of blackjack. And really, I wanted some space. I tend to sulk a little after seeing clients to shoot me. I wriggled my hooves beneath the soft cotton sheets and marveled at the feeling. Okay, well, sheets were weird, but I kind of liked them. It made my legs feel like I'd just trimmed my coat short. Yes. I snagged the crumpled patient assessment from my bedside stand. I let my dark green eyes wander over words, taking in what I could about my mysterious new client. Cinnamon's assessment was remarkably thorough, throwing a grudging mark of credit for the red-headed bad pony out. Sandalwood was right. He was a very competent heartmender and was very good at using the old Ministry of Peace manual of psychology disorder criteria. I was a little rusty on my MPMP disorders, but I knew how that felt. That was kind of how every heartmender worked. Give us a psychological criteria and we were able to confirm what we'd been feeling. Criteria just gave us words to describe the emotions and hurts that the pony was going through. Give it a name and help the heartmender figure out how best to give the client help. Blackjack, however, she had lots of names, lots of criteria, lots of issues. Her issues had issues, and those issues had embroidered jackets and set up fight clubs. I rubbed the bridge of my nose and frowned. Slade wasn't kidding when he said I had my work cut out for me. Honestly, we all did. Goddesses. Quiet knocking on my door made me stop, and looked up to see Slade standing in my doorway.
Can I come in?
He asked, offering me a kind smile. I pulled up at the head of my bed, shifting Scuttle and my pillows, and nodded. The elf pony curled up on the end of my bed, and smiled as he spotted Scuttle's mane poking up from behind my wing.
Full of a toy?
He asked, breaking the ice. Actually, I got her from Princess Grace. Apparently, the princess felt I needed something for this assignment. I admitted feeling my cheeks flush. I apparently was the first pony to take interest in the toy since she was a foal. They gave me an approving nod and crossed his forelegs.
I just wanted to make sure you're doing alright and coming out of here and all.
He said, his light drawl slipping through.
Blackjack isn't the easiest match to work with, even for some pony like me.
Some pony like you? Slade smiled.
I used to work at a stable 96. I used to be a whore that worked in stable 69. I never got the opportunity to meet Blackjack while she was fucking the place up, but I won't say I didn't come out of the entire experience with more intimate understanding of the reasons why all the ponies broke inside.
His face fell slightly.
Or the more initiative ways they showed that brokenness.
A part of me wanted to reach over and lay a hoof on his. The part of me that didn't like physical contact stopped me from doing so. Is that experience helping you get through to her? I asked after a pregnant pause. Slade shook his head, then cast his soft black bangs out of his eyes.
And not particularly. She likes sex. She always has. But sex with her is often empty and hollow. There is no. It's there. It is there to meet a need, but there is no intimacy in the act. She's also very hard on herself. She wants everything to hurt her.
He frowned, shaking his head.
It's painful to watch.
I let his words rattle around my brain for a little while. Wait, sex with her? Are you sleeping with Blackjack? I asked incredulously.
Sleeping with her? No. Having sex with her? Yes. It's part of my reaching out to her. She desperately craves intimacy, and as a heart mender, I can be whatever pony she wants me to be. It helps that I remind her of the stallion she loved so much.
I nodded, not understanding but simply to let Slade know I was listening. So, what does get through to her? So, what does get through to her? The stallion leaned back and lay across the end of my bed.
Honestly, I don't think I've even gotten her at all. She doesn't want me, and I remind her too much of P21, and it's something Sandalwood and I have been gone back and forth for a while now. I feel like every time I see her, I'm only triggering her more, and damn it, I don't, it's not even my fault.
He stomped his hind hoof and closed his eyes, frustration drifting from behind his emotional mask like a foul odor. I sat in silence, letting the bug collect his thoughts. He knew better than I did how to handle such things. But I did understand how hard it would be to work with somebody who you might be uncomfortable with your appearance. After a moment, he opened his eyes and looked back at me.
Thanks for listening, Serenity.
He said with a soft smile, "Fun, but let me see why he'd probably been popular with the mayor at Stable 69.
I appreciate it.
Well, it gives me a moment to get to know you a little better, Blank Slate." I replied with a small smile of my own. "You, me, and Sandalwood are gonna be working together for a spell, right? I don't mind seeing a little bit of the you behind the mask." Slate chuckled.
Well, call me Slate, not Blank. We will get along great, but I'll I'll let you be. We gotta make sure Sandalwood doesn't need her cleaning up.
"I'll see if you can create a mess for her to clean up." I nodded politely, trying my damnedest to hide my smile as Slate left my room for the kitchen. Short asterisk break.
Yes. Oh, okay.
So, how was the beginning
Yeah.
of a chapter 2?
I like it. I'm just trying to be characters whilst, I don't know, give me like 1 minute, 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Go ahead. Ладно, Блэк Джек, надеюсь, здесь слушал, читал, следил. Твое мнение поначалу, Главы, что-нибудь скажешь? Или ты так? Что такое? Ну пока перерыв идет, что ты?
Я говорю, типа, порнуха начинается, ужас вообще. Все, ужас, кошмар. Конечно, сижу, краснею. Стыдно.
Сказал человек, читавший горизонты, черт знает сколько.
Ну да, 7 раз. Ну, типа, с кем не бывает.
Ну,
Да, и тебе стыдно за...
плите могильный
Да,
напишем.
мне стыдно за тот никнейм, который я выбрал несколько лет назад. Ужас. Ну ладно, что поделать. Запись идет, все хорошо. Продолжаем в том же духе.
Да, сейчас Скалиан вернется.
Чё, прочищать подвалы?
Да.
Это в этой главе?
Нет, в этой главе будет...
Не, я помню, что там будет в конце самого.
Да.
А до этого раз не было подвала?
По-моему, нет, по-моему, будет потом, но я не уверен. Либо в третьей главе будет, либо в этой.
Я сейчас
Скорее всего, даже в этой. По-моему, в этой, да, ты прав.
Угу, да.
Кстати, Вай, я тут для тебя обнаружил новый смайл. Я вот тебе сейчас запущу даже куда-нибудь в личку, наверное. Держи. Typing intensifies.
Yes.
Вай, это новый смайл для тебя, я же сказал.
Да, что?
Говорю, это новый смайл для тебя. Ладно.
Клево, спасибо.
So, Scalian, are you ready to continue?
Yeah, I just got an aspirin.
Fair enough.
Do you guys have aspirin over there?
Yes, we do.
Oh, good. I thought I had to explain what it is.
No.
Okay.
It's very, very common in Russia, especially among certain category of people. Never mind. Okay.
What do you mean?
It's the best cure from the hangover. So.
Oh, for hangover, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it cheburek?
No. No.
I mean, you could make cheburek and sip vodka at 4 a.m.
Yes, we could.
And then by the time your friends wake up, the cheburek will be ready and you'll be long gone.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, let's continue reading, shall we? So, I had nearly drifted off to sleep when something woke me. I rubbed my eyes, my ears swiveling toward the sound of Sandalwood's voice carrying through a small home. Sandalwood, are you here?
Yeah, sorry. No.
She said sharply, the power behind her words confirming why I'd woken up.
She's going to be meeting with Blackjack tomorrow.
A long pause followed, which made me wonder who in the world Sandalwood was talking to.
Yes, I understand. No, you haven't made any progress.
Sandalwood sighed.
Yes, I know how frustrating everyone can be, but...
Again a long silence.
She's not dangerous. I've only been placing a filly with some pony I thought would be a serious threat to her. You need... No, that's not an option. One more word of that. One more word of you like that, and I'll be personally reporting you to the our conversation to Heartshine. You old ponies, the kind of damage which you do, how bad it could be for us.
Sandalwood seemed to wrap up the conversation, because I had nothing else for several minutes. My mind whirled about trying to put the pieces together. Who was she talking to? Why did they care? It certainly didn't sound like she was talking to Princess Grace. I frowned and shook my head. I just have to ask her more. I rolled over only my side and pulled Scootle close to myself, drifting off to sleep, only to dream of being chased by monsters made out of piles of empty booze bottles, bound together with duct tape. Sounds about right. Well, when I woke the next morning, I was greeted with a happy surprise that Sandalwood had seen fit to install hot water talisman and a shower in Hard Mander's home. I spent a good several minutes enjoying the feeling of water running over my wings and withers. Sandalwood had showed me where the towels were, and I found myself more mentally prepared to meet with Blackjack. I didn't quite hum a tune to myself as I totted up two massive doors of Star House, but today the Victorian-style building seemed less intimidating. I let myself in, and hearing snores echoing from upstairs set to clean the place up. Cleaning was always an exercise in Zen for me. I could just lose myself in the activity. I didn't need to worry about mysterious conversations Anut was having. I didn't need to worry about Blackjack thrusting herself on me. I could just focus on picking up bottles and finding my mental quiet space. Bottles went into bags and were carefully stacked on the porch for trade later. I found a small broom and set to work sweeping the kitchen. I would have killed for a mop, but I made do with what I had. I cleared off a counter and found an old rug that hadn't been consumed by mold. The kitchen didn't quite shine. I tapped at wood again, but the layers of grime and split liquor eventually were washed off. I even managed to find some plates to clean and took down the beer bottle, Hearthwoman 3 freeing the dirty skillet from its perch. The bedroom door overhead opened with a crack, and slow steps stretched along the balcony to the stairs. Blackjack moved like a zombie from an old pre-war film. She didn't even look at me as she made her way into the kitchen and opened the fridge. She had disappeared inside, then withdrew again.
Where's the whiskey?
She muttered, her red eyes unfocused as she gazed into the empty depths of the refrigerator. I blinked. I don't know. I didn't touch the whiskey, and I thought he wanted to talk to me sober. I frowned, realizing that I hadn't seen food anywhere in her house. I could make breakfast if we wanted. I managed to clean and season the skillet. Blackjack didn't answer right away. She just gave me a look, like I said something offensive. Her horn glowed and she levitated over a jar, peeling it open. She peered inside and scratched up her muzzle. Then she opened up a freezer and her red eyes immediately lit up, and she removed an ice cube tray full of little amber squares. She popped one out, tossed into her mouth, and started to chew with a loud popping crunching noise.
Risky cycles.
She said, around a mouthful of frozen sludge. I winced slightly as I watched her crunch on it. Well, maybe to help your hand grow up? Did you get some rest? I asked, wanting to find a spot to sit, and instantly regretting my decision to neglect cleaning the couch. It was musty and covered in many, many mysterious stains. Mysterious, stinky stains ranging from white to yellow to brown. Oh, goddesses. Okay, clean up worked. I could do therapy on my hooves. Blackjack didn't answer. She popped out a second cube and started chewing it as well, as her eyes just poured into me. She didn't blink as much as a normal pony should. Then, as she chewed her third, she finally answered.
Kinda.
She said as she stared at me. I tried not to frown. Okay, not talkative in the morning. Have any dreams? I asked. I had one where all of the bottles became a giant monster and started chasing me. That's why I sorta wanted to clean up a little. I admitted sheepishly.
What a coincidence.
She said lightly.
I dreamed I was trapped in a prison full of screaming and flaming ghouls with a wide gargantuan bloated ghoul that was the warden of the place and was just about to bite my head off.
She said, before popping another cube into her mouth and crunching it.
Of course.
She added, around a mouthful of slush.
I was the one trapped in a burning prison of flaming ghouls with a giant warden about to bite my head off, so probably wasn't as symbolic as yours. Or, well, were you once almost eaten by a giant bottle monster?
She asked as she levitated the cube, jabbing it at me like an accusing finger. I shook my head. I've never been chased by a giant bottle monster. Never been chased by any monster. Doctor just stared at me for a moment, then answered evenly.
Lucky you.
I opened my mouth, then sighed. Well, I did get kissed by a drunk man who loomed over me kinda scarily last night. But it was kind of high on my really scary things to happen to me recently.
You should be grateful that's a high, scary scale thing.
She said as she trotted over and flopped on the couch with a sigh, taking the cube still in her magical grasp and pressing it to her brow right under her heart.
So, maybe you'll be honest enough to tell me, why are you doing this?
I followed Blackjack and sat down on the floor on my haunches in front of her. I frowned down at my hooves. I really didn't have an answer for that. A good answer, anyways. What would I say? That Cinnamon Twist said we needed therapy? That the drink pretty damn hollow, considering Cinnamon hated Blackjack for exposing the doubt to the world. Because you have friends who are worried about you, and very worried that your self-destructive tendencies will make it so they have to kill you. And we don't want to do that. I said honestly, looking her red eyes. And because you're in a lot of pain, even if you try to wash it away with alcohol. Again, she didn't talk. That stare. That bloody stare. Blackjack.
Искали.
One sec. Окей, хорошо. Окей. Sure.
Вообще, да. Фанфик интересный. Давно хотел послушать.
Да ладно. Так-таки интересный.
Мне интересно, что дальше будет, вот так скажу.
Просто что так видел отрывок из следующей главы небольшой, там будет интересно. Скажу сразу.
Отрывок следующий.
Да. Небольшой.
I'm back, sorry, where were we?
Don't worry, man, it's alright.
I just had my, never mind. We were at,
And she didn't talk. That stare. That bloody stare.
pain, huh? You know what the great thing about dying is, kid? It's really, really a great thing. It doesn't hurt. You're done. You're over. No more suffering, no more worries. And should I know, I died twice. 3 times.
She paused and held up a hoof.
Maybe 4, I'm not sure. My mind was ripped from my body and stuffed into Philly, as head counts or not.
But you were brought back. And this time, nobody knows why. That's got to suck stinky caravan your balls,
Yeah.
she said with a sigh.
I need to try the Rampage's wood chipper solution.
Then she froze and scrunched up her muzzle again, looking to the east.
Fuck.
She whispered loudly. Then she disappeared in a flash of white light. I don't hate unicorns, but I really, really hate that they can teleport. Especially when they teleport and I can hear that cute little pop sound to figure out where they ended up. Blackjack? I called out, standing. Blackjack! I fluttered upstairs and poked my head into the disaster area that was her bedroom. I then poked my head into the second upstairs bedroom, steeling myself for... There wasn't a bit of garbage or trash to be seen. The bed was neatly folded and tucked in, but the dust of months of neglect blanketed everything in the room. On the wall were arranged a series of pictures. They had to be engraved. Nowhere else had pictures that vibrant. They were all of the same pony. A grey Pegasus, mare with a purple mane. Volunteer Corps, Class 1, was written on one caption. A pair of vases framed the image, with tiled lilac fronds filling the air with a delicate scent. My heart sank as it looked at the pictures and the lilac fronds. I didn't know where the pretty purple flowers came from, but I curled up as my chest felt like it was going to cave in from grief. This must have been Gloria, Blackjack's female partner. Was this Gloria's old room? Was that why it was so untouched? I took in few shuddering, steadying breaths and reminded myself that the grief was not mine, and that I didn't need to feel it so strongly as I was. I wiped a few tears, welling in my eyes, and slowly backed out of the room, quietly shutting the door. I leaned back against the door, trying to steady my breathing. Slade was right. I did have my work cut out for me. We all did. I wondered if any of the other Hartmanners had even been in that room. I wondered what the other bedrooms in the house looked like. Was everything like this? A mausoleum of memories of the dead? Was that why she was still lived here? Blackjack! I called out again and glided downstairs, landing in the hall that led to the bedrooms on the lower floor. I hesitated. Did I really want to search the whole house? Or maybe she went to the basement. My mind, ever the job it was, decided to fill the basement with dead bodies of falls that had mutated into some horrible monstrosity that wanted to give me hugs. Thanks, brain. Now I really didn't want to go down there. I set my wings and made myself trot over the basement to the basement door. Maybe I could just look, and the fall monster wouldn't get me. I swallowed and opened the door. Blackjack? Only silence met my call. I flicked the light switch with a hoof, but it remained a dark pillow hoof. Something was humming down there. The deranged humming of crazed wasteland cultist about to stop it, brain! You're unnoticed! I took in few steadying breaths and trotted back to the kitchen. There had to be a lantern. There! I flicked on the lantern light, surprised to find out that the spark battery wasn't completely spent, and carried it in my mouth as I trotted down the stairs. If something was coming, it was probably Blackjack. And if it was, in fact, a wasteland cultist who was trying to summon a horrible flesh monster, why would I wait for one scrawny little Pegasus figure like me when Slade was so far by the sacrifice? Or Sandalwood? She was pretty. Unless they wanted virgins. I shook my head as I realized that my mental monologue had let me only get one step down the stairs. I steeled myself again, and forced myself to make the next 20 to the stone floor. And before my eyes were boxes. Lots and lots of cardboard boxes, stacked up in heaps like basements had been used for centuries. Come to think of it, this floor looked centuries old. It was all fitted stone with the ceiling vaulted slightly. In the corner was the source of the humming. A small jump-out generator that provided electricity to Star House. Well, in my brain's defense, the low space looked like it could be used for cultist rituals if you cleaned out the boxes and boxes of junk. I dug through one of the boxes, trying in vain to see if I could find the light bulb from a picture in the basement. Okay, no cultist, but admittedly, basements were still creepy as fuck. So there were spiders that dropped down into my main. That's when I started screaming. I dropped the lantern, shattering the glass globe. The breaking the bulb exploded in a blinding flash of bright light, pitching me into the utter blackness of the basement as my eyes were overwhelmed. The dim light from inside of Star House vanished. I couldn't see the stairs or anything else, and I flailed at my main trying to get the spiders out. Then started sobbing uncontrollably as I realized I couldn't find the stairs back up. I was alone, in the dark. There were spiders everywhere, and I had probably fallen into the lair of a giant star spider that was the size of a house and was going to eat me. I was going to die! I freaked out. Butting at my mane, its tears ran down my cheeks. I hated this place. I didn't want to be here. I wanted to be back at Elysium, helping the nice Earth Pony X serfs and unicorn peers there. I didn't want spiders in my mane. I didn't want stupid cinnamon doing my job. I didn't want to be in the basement where I was likely to die alone and eaten by spiders. I hugged my legs close to myself and curled up against a pile of musty boxes. Well, hopefully Slightly Sandalwood came in soon to find me. I didn't want to spend forever trapped in the creepy basement of creepiness in the dark. It was impossible to tell just how long it's been before I heard the door creak open and steps slowly descended down. There was a flick of a switch. Nothing. Is there going to be a stallion here, or
I'll
shall I?
take it. I'll take it.
Okay, go ahead.
Of course.
Muttered a strange stallion's voice, followed by a sigh. A moment later, the stallion said from above.
Where's the damn lantern? I know I left it here.
It broken when I dropped it. I cried out in relief.
Luna, save me.
The stallion blurted.
Cinnamon, is it you?
No, Trinity! Cinnamon didn't want to work here. I'm one of the Heartmenders. Please tell me you have a light. I want to get out of this creepy place. A wan yellow glow appeared, marking the top of the stairs, and when an earth pony appeared, peeking down at me, holding a candle on a holder in his mouth. He set it on a box. He seemed about the same age as Slate, but he looked a little older and more world-worn.
I didn't know they brought another one. Blackjack goes through them fast, doesn't she? That's the way it's out. He said beckoned with a hoof.
Hold on. Yeah, he said as he beckoned with a hoof. I bottled up the stairs as fast as my lanky legs could carry me. Thank you. I'm so sorry to be a bummer. She left and I swallowed a little sob. I got lost trying to find her and I dropped the lantern when a spider fell in my hair and when I got stuck in the dark and this is not what I expected at all. I blurted, vomiting out the words at poor Stallion.
Well, shoot. Spiders are the worst. Can't blame you there.
Can't blame you. There, he said, and nodded back up the stairs again. When we were back in the light, I saw he could have been Slade's brother, but was lankier and maybe a few years older. His coat was dark grey, and his blue-black mane rose up in a chopped cut.
There we are. Better know.
He asked with a small smile.
I'm Nails.
I nodded, wiping my face again with my hoof. I'm Frenedy, I asked, sniffling. Nails? It's nice to meet you. I looked him over as my mind finally calmed a little. And thank you for rescuing me. You know Blackjack? I asked, a little confused. I thought only Heartmenders knew she was here. Then it hit me. You must be from Chapel. He nodded.
He figured someone was living in here. Most folks don't know about Storehouse and Blackjack, but I do.
He said as regret rolled off him like an oil slick.
I bring her food and supplies every week and clean up occasionally. Nice to have someone beat me to it for a change.
He said with a small smile of approval as he looked around the kitchen.
So she's taken off again, huh?
I nodded, sighing. She talked about Rampage, and then said something about a wood chipper, said fuck, and then poof. I waved my hooves. I hated when unicorns do that. Cheating unicorns with teleporting magics.
I know. It's almost as bad as Plagueicide flying away and leaving you stuck in the mud.
He counted with a lazy smile as he walked to the kitchen table where he'd set 2 saddlebags and started to pull out supplies.
I see. They didn't give you a pip back like I suggested.
I shook my head, frowning, as those supplies included more whiskey and less things like cream and apples and snack cakes. Oh wait, where were snack cakes?
No, that's you.
No, yeah. No, I never got one. Slate has one and so does Sandalwood, but I was stationed at Elysium before I got moved here and I grew up in Junction City. Lil Peep's Peepak was the first one I'd ever seen, but I was a 5-year-old filly when I saw it, and even then it was only briefly.
Yeah, You need her tag to track. Sorry. You need her tag to track her down when she does it. It's not just teleporting around. She could be clear on the other side of the hoof.
he said as he started to put the whiskey bottles in the fridge.
She could be gone for hours, days if she's in a bad way. She usually comes back though.
What brings her back? I asked, scrambling up onto one of the kitchen's chairs and staring at Nails. He was the first pony who was actually being honest with me about what was going on. Is it because Chapel is her home? Because she really likes helping out the Crusaders that grew up here? I wondered, frowning down at the wooden wheels on the table surface.
She was happy here once. I guess the memory of happiness is better than none at all.
He said as he slipped the groceries in the cupboard.
She does that. She goes to places where she was happy. Most people around the hood are just think she's a poser, a fake. They were big a few years back with the Lightbringer and all. Sooner or later, someone's gonna figure it out. She's the real deal.
I think that's what the Heartminders and followers are afraid of, I admitted, happy to share the secret with someone else who was in, if only by proximity. But they'll figure out it's really her. I know there is some not nice ponies in power who really don't like her. I said with a grimace, thinking of the rhetoric that came from the blackened maw of Minister Boyne, one of the leaders of the Commonwealth's rather powerful political blocs. Thank you for keeping your secret, Nails.
She spared my life. Seems like the least I can do.
He said with a little shrug.
You gave me another chance. Two, if you can't spare me when I was with the Harbingers.
He said as he closed the cupboard.
You think you can help her?
I cocked my head to the side, skewing an ear parallel to my head. Harbingers. That was again, right? I'm hoping I can, I admitted. Wait, who are you? Where did you meet Blackjack? More oily regret poured from him, but it was old, thick.
I suppose I should say, maybe it'll help her.
He said with a sigh as he looked out of the window.
I was one of the ponies that nearly killed her at the Seahorse.
He said with a little half-smile. My eyes widened at his admission, and I moved both of my hooves to cover my muzzle.
I guess you'd call me a raider back then. Scum, more like it. Filth.
I could only nod. What could you say in a moment like that? There were no words, only understanding. And if anything, Nails deserved to have my misunderstanding. I think I see why you want to help her, I said quietly.
She could have let her friends kill me. I expected them to. I think I wanted her to.
He said as he took a seat.
I met up with others. We stumbled on her, and she was blind and helpless. It was our chance to get her revenge. Fuck her up, like she fucked us up. She fucked up our lives. So we did. Not like normally you do, Mayor. She made it difficult. So we.
He swallowed and shook his head hard.
Sorry, you probably don't want to know the details.
I knew intellectually that it was helping his guilt to talk about it, but I was so relieved when he stopped himself short of telling me everything. I already felt sick just knowing the deeds of a stallion in front of me, without needing to know all of the cruel points in which he'd violated the mare I was trying to help. I shook my head. No, not unless it helps you. I said quietly, hoping it wouldn't help. But it sounds like by you bringing her food, helping clean up, you're trying to help put her back together. Give her a second chance like she gave you. I added with a soft smile. She may not say it, or ever say it, but I have a theory that kind acts, no matter how small, hardly go unnoticed. He didn't answer. His eyes were a million miles away before they returned to me.
I think that, like Jack understands, some things don't get forgiven, or don't get forgotten. And the punishment is you live with that. You've done until you die.
He sighed and shook his head.
Sorry, it was easier as a raider, not giving a fuck about how or what you did to hurt people. To have her tell her friends not to kill me.
He trailed off and shook his head.
I couldn't. I didn't want to understand how. How could she give me a chance? I was scum. Raider scum.
He sighed and shook his head again.
I hope she'll be back soon. I can tell you're worried.
I paused before answering. I wanted to point out to him that she saw a reason to redeem him, to give him that life so he could do better, like he was doing. I shook my head. Well, I assume she'll be okay. We hope safer than it was 9 years ago, I said quietly, but to answer your question, I think that it goes back to Blackjack being, well, her. I remember hearing stories about her and how she would always tell ponies to do better. I gave him another one of my soft-understanding cat-manner smiles. I think she knew that you'd take that chance, mull it over in your heart, and then actually use it for that good. No matter how small a good you could do.
I guess we'll never know.
He said hollowly.
Anyway, I got a pip-up with her tag, and it's the only way you'll find her. At least you'll know if she went somewhere close or not.
He said as he slipped his saddlebags on.
Take care, and watch out for more spiders in your mane.
He said as he walked to the exit. I rapidly batted my already messed up ponytail, praying another spider wasn't still in there. I took a deep breath, focused on the regret, sorrow, and confusion that I'd taken from nails, and let it out, allowing the oily feelings to wash off of me and down into the floor. One breath in, one out, and more oil running off of my body. And then I began to clean again, as I started to wait for my client to return. Short asterisk break. Okay, so
Oh my god, I took that medicine, and now my headache is gone, but my eyes are burning. Oh no, wait, it's still there. It's just not as strong anymore. After this, I think we're halfway through. About halfway through. That's great.
yeah, we are about
Once we're done reading, I'm gonna go back to studying. I still have plenty of time because basically, no shit, not right now. I'm too tired for this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I need to study too much more for history. But it never hurts to study.
Yes. So, Blackjack, are you returned? Blackjack.
Blackjack,
Apparently
keeping your rod. No. Wait,
No.
he's typing.
Typing, okay.
Yeah,
Ты нас слушаешь, хорошо. Просто что ты нас слушаешь. Ты ну, скажем так, ты сам следишь за историей или так просто сидишь? Вот
I wish I could read that without me stuttering like crazy.
Yeah. It will come with practice. Maybe you can try to read in advance for the next session.
Maybe. I don't know. I think. Okay, let me check my calendar right now. Wait, I need to.
Давай, Blackjack. Кстати, Blackjack, это потом, как наверстаешь, обязательно отпишись. Мнение свое, мне очень интересно по поводу главы. Хорошо? В личку.
Блин. Okay, so checking on my schedule, I'll have one exam tomorrow, 2 verbal exams the day after tomorrow, so on the 5th. On Wednesday, I'll have an English, which is a piece of cake, and then on Thursday, I'll have mathematics, which is a piece of cake as well. I'm really, really, really worried about the 5th, but apart from that, I think I'm good. I think, as far as I know, WWD, which is basically the Apple Expo, which I want to watch, will start at on the 4th as well. So I may take a look, but I think I'll just watch back the live stream because I don't think I'll be awake. And then I should be completely free on Friday. So if I'm free on Friday, I'll be able to read again.
Okay, so
That'll be great.
Our next reading session is going to be on Friday. So okay, maybe tomorrow, but we're going to read some Russian fan fiction. So yeah.
Yeah, I won't be there for that.
Speak is going to be on Friday, on the next Friday, that's for sure.
Okay, so after that, I'll have school for 1 more week, and then I'm completely free, which will be 15th of fucking June.
Okay,
And then I'm gonna go ahead.
I want to say that let's continue reading, but yeah.
I just wanted to say one more thing. I'll go to Germany. I think I should have my new phone at the end of the month, and I will be going to Germany at the end of for GalaCon at the end of July. I'll be meeting my British friends, and I think I'll have some time to relax with them and have a great time. And have a gay time. All right, let's keep on reading now.
Yeah, let's keep. When I'd finished with the kitchen, the living room, and braved cleaning up some of the stains of the couch, with no sign of blackjack, I considered defeat and left Star House. I made my way back to the Hartmanner wing, and trotted in to find Sandalwood writing notes.
How did it go, sweetie?
She asked. I winced slightly at being referred to as sweetie.
Oh, that good, eh?
She misinterpreted. No, not good, I admitted, joining her to the table. Such had a nightmare about being in a burning tower of ghouls, talked about putting herself through a wood chipper, and then teleported away. Sandalwood frowned as I told my story. Then I tried to find her, got trapped in the basement, and had to be rescued by a stallion named Nails. At least he brought her some food, and he said I should get a pip back. Sandalwood looked completely nonplussed by my tale.
I see. I've met Nails before. Nice stallion. He's always a little distant with Slade, but the food, booze and he brings helps to keep our I need to restart. Booze and then he brings helps to keep our budget low. I guess.
She sighed.
I am working on getting you a pip book. It might just take some time before we can requisition one from the NCR.
I shrugged. I lived this long without one. I don't really need one other than for tracking down blackjack. If you and I can do it, I said, pointing down to the pip bag on Sandalwood's left foreleg. I don't know why I need one. It's not like I'm gonna be using SATs to try and mend blackjack's heart. Sandalwood nodded. When fiddled with her pip bag.
Let's see where she went off to.
She scowled at the display a moment.
Oh, the Lunar Space Center,
she said quietly. I let my ears back. Welp, I wasn't going to get there. It was still kind of irradiated after the balefire bomb had been dropped on it during the final moments of the Battle of the Hood. Lucky she had a blank body that was immune to magical radiation. I smacked my hoof against my forehead. Of course, Rampage! She was talking about Rampage. She probably wanted to get her back. Sandalwood smiled.
Exactly. She tends to visit places that remind her of her friends when she's badly triggered, which admittedly isn't hard to do.
Nail said the same thing. Was he the one that said we should track her with pip tags? I asked. Sandalwood shook her head.
So far as I know, it was Cinnamon's insistence. Something about wanting to keep blackjack away from major population centers where she could hurt our ponies.
I frowned. Sandalwood was telling the truth. But so was Nails. Both of them couldn't be right, would they? I shrugged my wings.
Well,
when do you think she'll be back? I asked.
It's hard to say. if she doesn't come back within an hour, we might have to track her down, and that if she didn't simply peel off her pip buck and throw it in the hole, she has done that too.
She said evenly and sighed.
Sometimes if Velvet and Hardshine weren't wasting our time with her.
I glared at Sandalwood. You're wrong, I said defiantly. We aren't wasting our time. We just haven't found some pony with responsive yet. And if we are wasting our time, then that means fellow Glenn got hurt for nothing. I can't believe that. I refuse to believe that. You've just got to give her time.
And while we're fixated on her, we are not helping others.
Sandalwood replied firmly. All unicorn logic.
I admire what she accomplished, and while she was a hero, she is far from that now. Her suicide would be tragic, but no less tragic than those who suffer without any help while we indulge the vagaries of that spoiled brat of a mare.
I stared at Sandalwood for a long moment. Is that you talking, or is that Cinnamon? I asked evenly, because what I heard, what little I did hear of you before I was moved here, was that you wanted this post. Two could play the logic game. She took a deep breath, clenching her jaw before forcing herself to focus.
I wanted to help a mare I had some interest in being helped. Not some mare that drinks herself into stupor, disappears on the slightest provocation, and causes havoc wherever she goes. I wanted to help ponies, not waste my time on some pony that doesn't want any help or my respect. Respect my help.
Slade.
Ladies.
Slade said evenly, his earth pony stability grounding my Pegasus' desire to bite Sandalwood's head off, as he stepped into the doorway.
Your shop talk is scaring,
He said in his deep, soothing voice. I pinned my ears back and looked down, feeling ashamed that I'd shouted. And what I'd have said Sandalwood. Good job, Frenedy. Let your emotions get all caught up in the clouds. I'm sorry, Sandalwood, I mumbled, getting up from the table. It was rude of me to shout at you. Sandalwood laid her ears back too, and rubbed her head near the base of her heart.
I'm sorry too, Trinity. You were right along one thing.
She said with a wry smile.
I did want this post, and I know that her case is getting at me. There's just a lot.
Slade coughed, interrupting Sandalwood.
It's best if we not let the little one worry about all that nonsense.
I'm not little, I snapped, fixing Slade with a glare. I'm short. That's the difference. Slade got Slade laughing, and he shook his head.
Sorry. Just let Sandalwood worry, and I worry about the political pressure from the less wise ponies that we have to deal with. Why not focus on blackjack?
I suppose that made some sense, so I nodded. I can do that. I turned to Sandalwood. Do we have extra sheets? I think I'm going to crash on the couch in Star House while I wait for Blackjack to come back. As I said the words, the foul piece of furniture came to the fore in my mind, and I quickly added. And some Bronco? A lot of it? Industrial grade if we have it. Okay, so let's... I was curled up, reading a well-worn copy of Marriott's The Phantom Ship on the newly cleaned and apparently hunter green couch when Blackjack returned. I'd been enjoying the scene that was slowly revealing the affections Philip, the unicorn main character, had for Amain, the lovely Saddle Arabian sorceress. I looked about, trying to judge where in the house she might be. My ears swiveled about as from upstairs came a thump, and a moment later the door cracked open. Blackjack's hoof falls sputtered at the top of the stairs. Her striped mane hung in rumpled curtains around her shoulders as she slowly descended the stairs. Red eyes lit over at me with my book, but she didn't break stride as she headed into the kitchen and opened the cupboards.
Your friend Neil
No.
stopped by. Oh, wait. Oh, that's you.
Yeah. Your friend Neil stopped by, I called from the couch, setting down my book and concussion in front of me. He brought some food and put some stuff in the fridge. Sparkle colas and the like, I said, just watching her trying to quickly catch her mood. She froze and glanced at me, then pulled out a box of cereal. An almost visceral look of disgust across her features, and she threw the box into the garbage with more force than an unopened box could have ever deserved. Then she levitated out a tin of deviled eggs and peeled off the top. She then trotted over to the dining table and pulled herself into the seat, eating slowly and carefully as she slumped in front of the table. I frowned. Okay, now was not the time to ask stupid questions like, how are you doing? I knew the answer. She knew the answer. So, what was going to get through to her? I shrugged and trotted over to the fridge, and to my surprise, found that Niels had brought a few sparkle colored cherry bottles with him. Can I have one of the cherry ones? I asked, looking over at Blackjack's pack. She didn't answer, not even looking over as she ate one of the 200-year-old eggs. Seriously, how wasn't there an expiration date on those things? Bacon those things. Shaking my head, I looked at the poor box of cereal in the trash. Sugar apple bombs? Those things never weren't stale, and the box were in near mint condition. Don't you want the sugar apple bombs? Bombs? I asked, examining the slightly bent and abused box in the trash. It didn't look like anything was wrong with it. At the question, I felt an emotion like a cold, slushy tide rolling in and sweeping around me. Regret, disgust, self-hatred even, and mixing with that inexplicably flashes of warm affection and love. She said in a shaky voice.
No, I don't want to even smell them.
She said, as that exotic mix of emotions surged from her. I shivered slightly as I was simultaneously warmed and chilled by Blackjack's conflicting and complicated emotions. Oh, well, I can... do you want me to bring them back to my house, so they're not here? I asked, trying to keep the selfish, foolish part of me that really wanted the cereal from sneaking into my voice. Come on, Frenedy, this is about her, not you!
Sure, go ahead. They're delicious.
She rasped, her breathing tense and quick. I carefully approached from the side, astonished to see her ignoring the rest of her eggs and holding her head tightly between her hooves, body shaking as tears ran down her cheeks. The storm of emotions kept growing more and more unstable, as it alternated between acidic self-loathing, oily regret, and warm affection. All this from a box of cereal? I slowly stepped a pace closer to the table, my wings twitching on my back as I fretted, trying to figure out what to do or what to say. It took a lot of will on my part, but very slowly and deliberately I put my hoof on the table and slid it until the tip just barely touched hers. Blackjack, it's okay. You are safe. Like lightning, all three emotions were replaced with one. White, hot anger. Her head snapped back and she glared at me, her eyes blood red and flashing with malice. For an instant I saw what so many of her enemies must have seen right before she killed them. She firmly pushed herself away from the table and started back for the stairs without a word. Somewhat white-hot anger to my own charging, carried through my hoof and nestled itself somewhere around the part of my brain that was full of resentment and frustration for this position. The petulant part of me that wanted to yell at the world really liked her anger. Unfortunately, this carried over to my mouth, deciding to get ahead of itself. Again. Fine, stupid dumbface, walk away. I'll just take your cereal because you're being weird. I yelled, snatching the cereal box from the garbage with a wink. Wait made her pause, and the unstable, sloshing emotions were overcut by some bubbly amusement.
McDumbface? What, are you going to call me fatty next? Your mom jokes?
She said as she relaxed a little. Her eyes dropped to the box.
You really don't want to know why I can't stand those. You really want to know why I can't stand those? Why I can't stand the taste of apples?
The thinking, rational part of my brain finally decided to turn itself on. I gaped at her a moment like a mooning idiot, and then shook myself. Kinda, yeah? I mean, who doesn't like apples?
I don't. I love the taste of them.
She set her eyes on the box.
When we got out of a wasteland, those things were the first thing I ate.
Her eyes shifted briefly to the box, now tucked under my wing.
One of the best things I found in the wasteland.
She said as she stared, her emotions swirling. Oddly. Instead of unstable shifting, it was more like we were mixing about. But was it a good mixing or not?
I'd eat them any chance I could. With milk, whiskey, dry, it doesn't even matter.
She paused and amended.
Didn't matter.
What? So, did you burn yourself out on them? I asked, confused but trying to understand. The emotions mixing in her were still puzzling.
You know about 321?
She asked as she walked to the couch and sat down, not noticing my pain stuck and scribbling over upholstery. I winced as she nearly knocked my book from its perch. I know he was your boy, I said simply, and that sled kinda looks like him. I know he was really famous for being super good at bouncing grenades around. Oh, but what all the calls and feelings that were crusaders when they were foes like to tell me about. What about him? I asked, trotting over to the couch. I wasn't sure I wanted to sit on the other end just yet, so I rested a hoof protectively on my book.
In 99.
She began before her voice cracked.
I don't know what they told you about 99, but he was used bad by all the mayors.
Her red eyes softened briefly as they met mine, and a sharp stab of guilt glanced from her to my chest.
They got raped once to the boat. He got raped almost every day, most of his life. I guess most of the males, I just don't know, accepted it. It didn't hurt him. It hurt him, but it also kept him trying to escape. He didn't want 99, just fuck with him and kill him while he was too old.
I didn't have a vocabulary for the emotions coming off her. Spiny with soft tickly sensations that oozed all at once. Seriously, did this mare come with a manual?
You have no idea how much I admire him for that now.
I nodded slowly, still trying to process the pokey tentacles of emotion I was feeling her. I didn't really know what to say, so I stayed quiet, letting her continue.
There was this time here, right before it all went bad, that last horrible day.
Okay.
She smiled hatingly.
Yeah.
She said hating.
She said haltingly.
We were laughing, carrying on, daring each other, and he told me.
She took a little breath.
He told me that my mom tasted like apples.
I couldn't quite suppress my own shudder at Blackjack's admission. Apples. Well, that's when had it been. I shook myself. Nope, not going there. Oh, I said little Pegasus in my head putting on a graduation cap. So, apples are now a reminder of all the bad things that happened to him, and how your mom didn't do anything to stop it? I asked. Am I not following as well as I think I am?
Actually, you're doing a better job than Cinnamon. I tried to tell her.
Blackjack said with the first warm feelings for me since we'd met. She closed her eyes.
It's much more than that, though. I think about who he was and where we first started at and how far he'd gone, how much he'd changed to be able to joke about what my mother and I had done to him. I didn't realize it then, but it was night and day from when we first met.
She leaned her head back as sour acidic self-hatred rolled off her.
Then I got her, and then I got him killed.
I frowned as the self-hate fell like a waterfall off of the cushions and pulled around my hooves. I ended up jumping up onto the couch, curling metal around my legs, and sat on my haunches watching her. But he did change. The better it sounds, I asked quietly. She sniffed and nodded.
More than you can imagine. He went from a stallion who couldn't hold a gun without trying to murder me into a stallion who was, aside from being my lover, loved his daughter. He was a teacher. He was going to be, I don't know what, but when, but he would have been amazing. Even more, he already was.
She bowed her head and shook it slowly.
I think I think what I did to him, what my mom did to him, and that he makes, and then he makes a joke, and it just hits me and me about who I just lost.
Just what I lost.
Whatever. Yes, I'm
Yeah.
fucking tired. Sorry.
No. She closed her eyes, her emotional stew now one of a bilesome recrimination shimmering over the unstable shifting. I nodded, mulling over my own thoughts and feelings as I listened to her. I toyed lightly with my blonde tail with my forehook. Resiliency in any pony is always an amazing thing, isn't it? I asked, ducking my head down to try to catch her eyes before we closed. But I can see how his resiliency, in light of everything, would make you realize just how much you lost when I trailed off. I couldn't bring myself to say he died. I feared what might happen if I did, and I was scared silent.
Yeah.
She said as she leaned back on the couch, sitting oddly on her haunches.
But I got them all killed.
She muttered and took a deep breath.
Anyway, yeah, that's why I can't stand sugar apple bombs now. I still remember how awesome they tasted, but I think of it and yeah, all that just happens up there.
She tapped the side of her head with a hoof. I bit my lip and let out a small sigh. Well, Sam would probably talk about stimuli and stuff, but to me, yeah, makes sense as to why you would not want to eat them. Eat them. I mean, if anything, the mere fact every bite would be like a mom's nethers on your tongue would be weird enough. I said with a small grin, trying to lighten the sombre mood. She looked at me a moment, then gave a small laugh. Her feelings didn't share it one bit, but it was something.
Yeah, at least it didn't happen in 99. Often, usually.
Her lips twisted.
Though it did to the Overmare and Daisy.
Her brows knit together.
I just think when I get to the bottom of how messed up 99 was, I think of it something new.
I knew that my poker face had failed me as I felt my muscles screw up in disgust. Okay, that was fucking messed up. But that's... My stomach decided that now was the best time to practice doing somersaults, and my wings wrapped protectively around my barrel and foreheads. Home wasn't really sweet, was it? The shark laughed again, but I could still feel its hollowness.
Yeah, it's weird. You didn't think about it. It's not like we didn't know any better either. I think we all knew somewhere deep down how fucked up it was, but we all just went along with the flow. Mares were all that mattered to stallions were nothing more than just tools to be used to thrown away when they got too old or we had too many. And if any pony didn't like them, then they just shut up and keep it to themselves.
Her smile drained away.
I actually miss it sometimes.
I cocked an ear to the side. Do you really? Or do you miss the stability the stable brought? I asked. She didn't answer for almost a minute, her eyes gazing out at the past.
I miss not thinking about things. I miss not realizing how much things suck, and how my biggest worry was botching some coffee spell on Daisy being a pissy mood for missing a card game.
She gave a half smile.
And the shallow part of me misses the casual sex too. I never get, I never did get to bang midnight, and I think she had fun just stringing me along now.
She shook her head slowly.
Sometimes one thing I want more than anything, turn everything in my brain off. Just go back to how things were. Don't think about it, you know?
I did know. I'd love to know how to get my I don't know how to get my brain to shut up. It's kind of a douche most days, I admitted, and allowed myself to give Blodgett a small smirk. Though, with the shallow sex, are you really missing that? Or are you just missing the fact that it can meet the need without having to worry about the emotional attachments? I asked. Like with Slate.
Yeah, like with him, or any pony for that matter.
She said, as shook her head with acidic self-love and bubbling away.
That's just pretty sad, isn't it? After everything and all, it was just easy to fuck with somebody I don't care about.
Honestly, I think that's what a lot of ponies want. Intimacy in the wasteland is scary. Just being able to fuck and live without having regrets and all those gross sticky emotions hanging around. I winced at my unfortunate phrasing, trying desperately not to think of a biological disaster area that had been in the couch until a few hours ago. Don't think about it. I shrugged, trying to hide another shudder. But I don't know. That's just what the everyone tells me. And like that, the switch was flipped, and a warm, sticky feeling began to wash over me. She smiled as she leaned closer.
And what about you? Would you like to just fuck without regrets or or gross sticky feelings hanging around?
I was shocked at just how rapidly she could change her feelings, and worse, at just how quickly she could change those feelings for me. I leaned away, feeling my spine and wing roots pressed into the back of the couch. I don't want it, I said, trying to push back against the bile that was rising in my throat. I didn't want her looking at me like that. I kept poker face, trying to maintain an air of polite disinterest. Belgic blinked, and the sticky feelings abruptly receded a little before she shrugged and gave me a little smile.
Well, let me know when you do. Trust me, Glory thought me out to have the best spots on a Pegasus mare.
She said. When her smile faded and the new guilt stormed through her, she slipped off the couch and trotted towards the fridge again. Surely she wasn't still hungry. Just the thought of those 2-century-old eggs turned my stomach, and she was going back for seconds? I watched her move, and physically forced myself to relax. As my eyes followed her, they got stuck on the open but untouched sparkle cola cherry. My soda! I screamed, scrambling off the couch and taking a sip. Talking could make a pony very, very thirsty. I blushed slightly at the look she was giving me. She extracted a bottle of whiskey and started back for the stairs. Oh goddess, she was smiling at me again. That warm smile of promising uncomplicated good times. Good times that the thought of which made my wings ache and my stomach try to eat its way out of my throat. Hey, Blackjack, I asked. I know you probably want me to go, but can you try to go a little easy on the whiskey? If you want me to come back tomorrow and you don't have a hangover, that is, I offered. She paused and sloshed the amber contest at me.
This
No.
isn't whiskey. I don't think about it, juice. I drink it and I just don't think about things. It's this or sex unless you want to push my reset button, which is something I need.
Wait, you have a reset button? I asked, very confused. She smiled and approached me, the warm sticky feelings getting disturbingly thick as she strutted. Wait, why is she strutting?
Yeah,
She said softly, her voice low.
when I have a great feel of a hoof curling around me, panting sex of wonderfulness with a little pony, and it resets me from just what a fucking monster I am.
She did something with her horn, and I felt a caress on my pinion.
But I make sure the other person has a good time too. A very good time.
I tugged my wing a little closer to my barrel, barely managing to avoid actively flinching at her touch. Little pony? Oh gosh, she meant me! Nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope, nope.
Oh. Is that the line?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I bit
Okay.
I bit my lip.
Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
I can translate over if you need, but no, I don't do that. I explained, hoping I sounded somewhat calm. Goddess damn it, Sandalwood was right. She was trying to get under my tail. Just don't touch me again with your magic or otherwise. I found myself mentally begging that she would just lay off. Leave me alone. Leave sex to ponies older and wiser and prettier and just not me. Blackjack seemed amused if nothing else.
Straight, huh? Imagine that.
She said as she leaned in, projecting warm fondness, sticky lust, gentle concern, sucking desire.
Well, trust me, if you ever want to see your barn door swings the other way, I'll make sure you won't regret it.
It was like drowning in warm molasses, a glowing, inescapable quagmire. What kind of pony I like really doesn't matter. I'm just younger and smaller than you, and that's weird. I said, trying not to sound too defensive.
Alright, it's the whole age thing.
She said with a roll of her eyes.
I was younger than you when I went through sex ed. I was younger than you when I went through sex ed. I don't even know what that is.
Education.
Education. Okay, it's a shortened.
Yes.
Okay, I understand you don't have practical reasons, but if you're not interested, you're not interested.
She started to walk away, her back and swaying her a few steps before she looked over her shoulder at me.
But let me know when you are.
Sweet Celestia, she winked at me. I puffed out my cheeks and pouted at her. Just go drink you think me not juice, and I'll just talk to you tomorrow.
Sure thing, and the sooner Slate shows up, the less hungover I'll be.
She said as she trotted up the stairs to her room. A slightly immature pony inside of me wanted to get the parting shot. I'm still eating the cereal, I yelled out, taking the box from under my wing and giving it a shake.
And you'll know what my mom vaginas taste like.
It's not fries.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Why is this so
Escalion, brave.
Yes.
Breath in, breath out.
Yeah. Well, you know what my mom's vagina tastes like too.
Пиздец.
Да.
Он на вкус как яблоки?
Yeah. She called back as the door to her bedroom closed. I pursed my lips as I stared down at the box in my hooves, trying desperately to delete that sentence from my mind. Damn it, Blackjack! Yeah, the end. So, Scallion, any opinions on the chapter?
Oh my fucking god. Okay, I want you to spoil one thing for me.
Yeah.
In the chapters you have read, will they bang at any point? Yes or no?
No.
Okay,
No.
not yet. It's gonna be written down somewhere, I'm sure of it.
Well, it might. I mean, they have an interesting chemistry going forward, and a lot of development between those characters and some other ones. But yeah, they didn't bank quite yet. But yeah, so how was the chapter? Did you like
That was the closest.
It was fun before last few sentences were okay again sex. That's Sommer's book. It's fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So did it help to? Okay. Did it help you to place your mind at ease a little bit?
You had only one job and you nailed it.
Yeah, that's quite
Fail.
Okay, this video is me right now. This is me right now.
I guess I can no I will not stop recording because someone here didn't say a word about this shit. Ну кто-нибудь еще выскажется, чё? Не?
Сейчас, погоди секунду.
Об этом
Я хочу смотреть
пиздец,
видео.
блядь. Оп, твою мать. А ты чё ржёшь?
Scallion is...
Scallion. Бред.
We're losing him! We're losing him!
Дыши. Дыши, братан.
Иди похлопай,
Impressive.
go fuck
Yeah.
somewhere else!
When you will know how my mom's vagina will taste too.
I want to see that conversation play out between me and the Florian IRL. Me trying
yeah.
to fucking make him gay.
I'm fucking afraid to go to Budapest right now. This is so fucking scary from this moment.
Am I?
Yes, you are.
Why are you straight? Why are you straight? Like,
Because-
don't be fucking straight.
Because vaginas, of course.
I mean,
Mm.
what about
Oh.
them? They are vaginas. What do
Oh.
you need? It's like weird. I don't even know how they work.
Oh fuck's sake. Пиздец.
Yeah, so Scallion, okay, so nevertheless, any thoughts on the chapter, please?
I love it.
Yeah.
Because you're fucking gay!
Exactly. I am really gay. I like you. I like hearing you scream your fucking. Oh my god.
Так, это надо зачесть. Я решательно писал. Pull dick out from throat and fucking breath.
Yeah.
Да, согласен.
Ладно, хорошо. Блэкджек, от тебя будет что... А, ну ты раз отгорел, да?
Пиздец, нахуй, пиздец. Все, это все, что я могу сказать.
Ну что, Блэкджек, будешь считать свое свободное время?
Ну, придется. Типа, надо
Давай.
мне тоже поучаствовать в зачитке, а то так чисто.
Ну,
Да.
давай, в пятницу будет.
В пятницу, ну, блядь, экзамен, конечно. Ну, я постараюсь. Короче, все, останавливать запись, все высказались, никто ничего не хочет добавить. Вай, скажи что-нибудь еще.
В общем, когда я читал эту главу, я ее читал на работе. По мере... Короче, я вот картинку, что я скинул с Томом, где он такой приходит, открывает книжку и начинает читать. Это вот я, вот как на работе, в голосину читал эту главу.
Сейчас.
Настроение было хорошее. Там, такой, думаю, о, глава вышла. О, клево. Перелистнул страничку.
Да, и перейду страничку и...
Нет, просто сейчас прикол был, короче, я включил это видео, чтобы звук попал в запись, и вот в момент, когда он перелистывает страничку, ты сказал, вот я перелистываю страничку, и вот это. И коинсайд, совпало прям.
И еще немножко черного юмора.
Давай.
Вон я кину картинку. Мальчик, у которого рак, домой приходит
Баян.
репетитор, и у него 2 химии в день.
So, we need to translate this shit. А хотя не знаю.
So, Escalion,
Да?
here's the joke. For boy who have cancer, every day teachers comes to home, and that boy have 2 chemistry per day.
Chemistry. Because there is a chemistry...
Yeah. I think he gets the joke.
Like treatment and lesson.
Okay.
Короче,
So,
все,
I
закрывай.
think I will...
Всё, да?
Okay.
Давай
yeah,
прощайся,
I think I will-
прощайся.
Всё, всем пока-пока, спасибо, что читали, слушали,
Подожди,
было
у меня
весело.
будет плохая новость.
Давай.
Примерно на середине вашей зачитки у меня интернет отвалились нахуй.
Поэтому я все записал.
чувак, ты конфетка.
Поэтому я
знаю.
говорил, что нужно 2 записи.
Вот, как раз 1,5 часа, сейчас я буду заливать этот пиздец. Не знаю, сколько
Заливаешь
он будет.
ссылку куда-нибудь сюда кидай, чтобы мне и так далее. Ладно, все. Я пошел, короче, ладно. Всем большое спасибо за то, что так внезапно собрались и послушали, почитали.
Как здорово, что все мы здесь сегодня собрались.
Да. So yes, kind of, it's going to get only better from here. Like my favorite chapters are my favorite chapters are probably like 14 and 15, which are the later ones.
Is it
And
weird
there's going
that
to-
now I want to ship them?
No, it's my OTP.
What?
So,
It's
fucking
my
close,
OTP.
fucking close. 3, 2, 1.
I mean,